Hi everyone, and welcome. Today we're starting a new series on the book of Revelation. For many people, this book feels either like a riddle to solve or a nightmare to avoid. But Revelation wasn't written to confuse or scare, it was written to reveal Jesus and give hope to his people. Think about the context. So the Apostle John was exiled on the island of Patmos, cut off from the churches he loved. Those churches were small, struggling, and under pressure from Rome. Some were persecuted, some were tempted to give up. And John writes this book, not knowing if he'll ever see them again, to encourage them to hold on. The very first verse says, "This is a revelation from Jesus Christ." That's the key. Revelation isn't about unlocking secret dates or predicting the headlines. It's about seeing Jesus more clearly. But over the centuries, Christians have gone to two extremes. One extreme is obsession. People create charts and predictions, always convinced Jesus is returning in their lifetime. But Jesus himself said the Father alone has the authority to set those dates and times, and they are not for you to know. Whenever we obsess, we lose sight of the point. Not when Jesus is coming back, but how we're living until he does. The other extreme is avoidance. Some people just don't touch Revelation. They think it's too dark, too confusing, or too strange. But John tells us in Revelation 1:3 that there's a blessing for those who read it, hear it, and obey it. If we skip it, we miss out on the encouragement God meant for us. So why should we study Revelation? Well, first, because it's in the Bible. God gave us this book on purpose. If we want to be shaped by his word, we can't pick and choose only the parts we're comfortable with. Second, because it carries a blessing. That promise of blessing wasn't written to people in easy circumstances. It was written to Christians who were scared, beaten down, and tempted to quit, which tells us God's blessing isn't about life being smooth. It's about experiencing his presence and staying faithful even when life feels like chaos. Third, because it sharpens how we study the Bible. Revelation is full of symbols, and they're meant to stretch us. For example, John sees a sword coming out of Jesus' mouth. Now, he's not painting a literal picture. He's showing that Jesus' words carry ultimate authority. That forces us to ask, whose words have authority in my life? Whose voice do I trust the most? And the most powerful symbol of all is in Revelation 5. John hears about the Lion of Judah, the mighty conqueror. But when he looks, he sees a lamb that was slain. Jesus wins not by force, but by sacrifice. That's the heart of the gospel. The lion is the lamb. The one with ultimate power chose to lay it down for us. So, why study Revelation? Because it pulls our eyes off the noise and speculation of the world and fixes them on Jesus. He is the lion who reigns and the lamb who was slain. And he's coming again. So here's the bottom line. Revelation isn't about predicting tomorrow's headlines. It's about deciding today, who will we trust, whose words will we obey, and who will we worship. And with that, I want to hand it back to your group host, who will guide you into some discussion to help you process these truths together.